YouTube, what's going on, guys? And welcome back to a new segment on the channel. We are calling it Horror Time, my horror times, okay? Now, yes, these are like stories, but, had to add to the moniker, the flair, the nightmare, make things scary. So with that being said, we're going to talk about scary events that took place in my life, okay? And the very first story that I want to share with you guys is the time that I almost drowned, okay? Now, I remember this story like the back of my hand. I'm not even going to lie. I had a time I was telling the story, but then I had to think about it and I was like, oh yeah, that's when it happened. So now that I got all the facts straight, I'll never forget. So we went to this pool, okay? And this is around the time when my family was like, they already knew. They was like, oh, you can't swim. You move in one place, blah, 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 blah. You like doggy paddle, but don't go nowhere. And it's like, dang, like, so at that time I was really trying to prove like I could swim and all that. Like I was what it was. So I'll never forget, like they, how they have the different sections of the pool. They have the shallow end, then they got the kids section, you know what I mean? Then they got the, like the 5 feet and beyond. Like, so I don't know what it was like, but I don't know what it was that and like told me like, hey yo bro, go ahead, jump in there. But I remember I was in the like the 3 foot, 2 foot area, you know what I mean? And swimming around, I can get out, climb out. So me knowing I can't like really swim, you know what I mean? Any normal person would have, came up to it, maybe drop down close to the edge, you know what I mean? So you could like, if it's not cool for you, you could just jump back out. No, I decide to do a whole cannonball in 8 feet, okay? Now, mind you, for those of you who know me, you knew I was like between 4'7" and 4'9", like up until 12th grade, you feel what I'm saying? So this was ridiculous. So I jumped directly into 8 feet. I'm like, yeah, I did that thing. Not even realizing like, yeah, bro, you human, you need air. Like, you know what I mean? Come up. And I'm like, oh yeah. So I'm trying to swim and like, I really ain't going nowhere. Like, I'm underwater. So like, I like drop down to the bottom and like, I don't know, like use my toes to like try and jump out. And I'm like soaring up. And it's like, I'm like, and I come out and I'm like breathing, but I'm like, I can't swim. So it's like, I go back down. I got water in my mouth. Try to go back down. I'm losing air. I'm coming back up. Like I'm swallowing water. I ain't getting no air yet. I try to, I'm like doing all that, you know what I mean? So it's like, at the end of the day, I'm like, geez, like what's really happening to me? Like, I'm really about to die. This is how I'm about to die. Like, and I was a young bull too. And I was like, dang, I think I was like I said, I think like 8 or 9. I can't really remember, but I remember that story, like, cause that was like a flash like that. That was like very traumatizing. And that's why, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm real afraid of water, like going down. Like, I'm not afraid of swimming or not like that, but I'm talking about the deep, you know what I mean, of where the exotic creatures want to live at, you know what I mean? I'm not going like that, you know what I'm saying? But for real, like, it was very, very traumatic, and I felt like, you know what I mean, I really was going to go. Like, that was the way that I was really about to be out. And it was sad because, like, I don't know, like, in the back of my head, I really thought like, oh, like I can swim. But when I got there and was in that situation, like, I don't know, like, it was crazy. And then it wasn't even a lifeguard. It was somebody. They must have seen, and they like pulled me to the side. Like they got in, pulled me up, you know what I mean, and put me on the side, you know what I mean. They was like, you good? And I was like, yeah, I'm good. But miraculously, for some reason, like, I was able to regain breath, like, right after that. So it was like, okay, so, you know what I mean. So once that happened, I ain't gonna lie, I went directly over back to the to the 2 foot, 3 foot area. I was like, yeah, I'm cool right over here. Like, this is good. Like, this is great. But I don't know, like, that was the most scariest part that I've ever been through. Like, as far as like almost dying, that was one of them. But let me know, like, your different stories, if you guys even have any. But let me know. I would definitely like to read some. If you would like to put them in the comments, if you're brave enough to do that, you know what I'm saying. It's up to you though. But other than that, this has been the very first horror time. So make sure you put a like up there. So guys, if you enjoyed this video, you already know what to do. Don't be afraid to hover and haunt that like button. Subscribe today to become part of the Soul Gang Team Nephilim. Let's get it. Tap that notification bell to know each and every time that I upload. And guys, remember, to be good at the game, you gotta kill with skill. And until our next nightmare, peace, guys.